Each week in Bible Studies for Life Kids, we have take-home pages, take-home cards, and an app for parents and kids to review together what is learned on Sunday morning. Let's take a look at the take-home pages, cards, and app to show you ways to continue the learning at home throughout the week. First, let's take a look at the front side of the take-home page. Notice that across the top left is the unit, session number, and title of that week's session. On the top right corner, you will see that unit's memory verse. Practice saying this verse together so that your child learns it by heart. The rest of the front of the page contains 2 fun Bible learning activities that your child will often complete as part of Bible study or can be extra activities for you to complete together at home. Ask your child to explain the answer to these activities to you to help reinforce Bible learning. On the back of your take-home page is our One Conversation page. We emphasize one conversation because it is a tool you'll be able to use no matter the age of your child to talk about what was learned in Bible study that week. Notice that the largest section on this page is your child's Bible story. You can choose to tell this story again with your child, then ask your child to tell you the story. You can also look up the passage in the Bible together to show your child where the story comes from in the Bible you use at home. And you can do the same for your weekly Bible verse and review it together from your Bible. There are several other pieces of information on the page that's important for you to know. The life point is the primary point of learning throughout that week's study for your child to connect with and apply to her life. The Bible Meets Life connects the Bible story with your child's life at his specific age and stage. Live It Out gives one specific way to put that week's Bible truth into action at home. The level of biblical learning is the biblical concept taught from that week's study. This specific statement is part of the larger Levels of Biblical Learning discipleship plan that children build upon in their learning from birth to high school. And finally, the daily Bible reading gives other Bible verses that you can read together with your kids. These go deeper into either the life point or the level of biblical learning. Bible Studies for Life Kids also has take-home cards for preschoolers and kids in a fun collectible size. The preschool cards feature the level of biblical learning, the teaching picture art, and a fun activity each week. The kids cards also feature the level of biblical learning and a fun activity too. They're great to use to review the Bible story from each week and help kids remember the biblical concept that was taught. Kids can collect them and keep them to remind them of each week's study. The Bible Studies for Life Kids app is also a great tool to help you review and further learning with your preschoolers and kids during the week. First, search for the Lifeway Kids app in your app store. Inside the Lifeway Kids app, search for your current quarter of Bible Studies for Life Kids. You will need to download each new quarter as it releases. When you click on your current quarter of the Bible Studies for Life Kids app, you will see 3 choices: Bible Skills, Family, and Gospel. Bible Skills contains kids' games to help them learn the divisions of the Bible, the books of the Old Testament, the books of the New Testament, coloring pages, and puzzles, all to help preschoolers and kids learn that week's memory verses. The family portion of the app contains a menu for each week that includes all the information found on the printed One Conversation page, including the Bible story. There's also a link to the gospel plan, a coloring page, and an activity. You will see that there are separate preschool and kids options for stories, coloring pages, and activities. The gospel portion of the app contains a plan to share the gospel with kids and includes both the gospel God's plan for me and the ABCs of salvation. Scroll down in the main menu of the Lifeway Kids app And you can also download the Levels of Biblical Learning app. As a reminder, the Levels of Biblical Learning equips parents and teachers with a tool for discipling kids in a systematic way, from birth through high school, and undergirds the way God created them to grow. The Levels of Biblical Learning presents 10 biblical concept areas that children need to hear, understand, and apply across 8 different age levels. That includes younger, middle, and older preschool, younger and middle kids, preteens, middle school, and high school, reflecting levels of understanding that follow how God designed our children to learn. In the Levels of Biblical Learning app, you can choose your child's age and view the statements for his age level in all 10 concept areas. Many parents choose to view the next age, so you will see what your child is learning next, or even navigate to a later stage of development to see what your child will be learning later. We hope that you will find all of these resources useful for talking with your kids about Bible content, truths we can learn from the Bible, and how to apply the Bible to everyday life, so that from the youngest age and stage, kids can be growing in their relationship with God.